All right, the House poised to pass a bill today easing the burden on concealed carry owners crossing into states they don't have a permit in. So is this a good idea? Here now to debate this is NRA commentator Antonio Okafor and Democratic strategist Mustafa Tamiz. Thank you guys so much for coming on this morning. Mustafa, I'm going to start with you. There's a gun problem in this country. I don't think anybody denies that. But we have people here that are at least vetted to some extent by one of the states in this country that are legal gun owners in at least one state, taking guns into another state. Is that really the biggest problem that we have right now with guns? Is this really that big of an issue?
Well, that's the thing. Like, if we're trying to solve a problem that just makes no sense. Let's think about this. Right after the shooting here in Texas, San Bernardino, Las Vegas, Sandy Hook, the response that you're getting from the Republican Congress is to pass a law that allows people to carry a weapon concealed. And then there's also a silencer bill that not only can carry this weapon, but if that other bill passes, you'll have a silencer when you shoot someone. That just doesn't make sense. It seems really tone deaf. Yeah,
the silencer thing, I'm not sure too many people would agree with at all. And I just like the bump stocks with the Las Vegas shooting. I think that was roundly accepted as, why do we have these? Even Republicans said that. Over to you, Antonio. What do you say in response to that?
Well, I'd say first, it's not the silencer bill. It's the Hearing Protection Act, which they're not silencers, they're suppressors. So it just makes it easier for someone with a firearm to be able to go to the range and not have to worry about losing their hearing in a few years. So that's what, for one, that. But then also, the fact of the matter is that we're focusing on concealed carry owners. And those are law-abiding citizens just like me, just like average Americans who have this protection and this right that's protected by the Second Amendment in order to protect themselves, whether they are from Texas, like I'm from, or if they want to travel to Massachusetts, where I am currently right now.
Mustafa, what's your response to that? I mean, do we need some clarification here? Because some states are allowing people to carry a gun, and then you can drive right into another state and you can get arrested. We had one woman on a couple of weeks ago who spent like 50 days in jail.
Well, either we can, from the conservative viewpoint, talk about state rights, or we can talk about, states have no rights, and now we've got to have federal regulation that overrides different states. That's really not the direction we want to head in. This just doesn't make a lot of sense. The Republican members in the House are tone deaf as to what's going on in our country. We're seeing mass shootings, an epidemic of it around the nation, rather than trying to find ways to get people that have mental health illness, off of the creating registries that allow people to, not be able to purchase a gun that have mental health issues. Instead, we're going in a direction of getting more people to carry more guns. The Republican Party is becoming the party of Donald Trump, Roy Moore, and guns. And that's just not where this country is headed.
Okay. Antonio, over to you. I mean, we're obviously not talking about, these serious weapons that have done a lot of the damage in this country, the AK-47s and such like that. We're talking about handguns here. Do you think this is overblown? Do you think this is a real problem?
Correct. Handguns is what we're talking about. So the National Reciprocity Act, first of all, this misinformation that's being spread by Bloomberg-funded groups like Moms Demand Action and Every Town is false. Is the fact of the matter is that it's not
we just can't believe that.
Let me finish. It's not going to gut state laws. You're going to keep every law. You have a law saying that you can have this certain type of requirement in order to get your license to carry in Texas. It's not going to override the law, say, in Massachusetts. What's going to do is that, for example, I'm from Texas and I have a license to carry. I can now, when I travel to a place like Massachusetts or California, with this act, enable me to be able to protect myself just like I can in Texas. Right now in Texas, I can have reciprocity in 35 other states. And it's just important that wherever I happen to be, wherever law-abiding, responsible gun owners happen to be, that they're able to protect themselves, especially women like me.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on this morning. This is a very tricky subject that nobody seems to know the answer to, especially politicians in this country. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.